Hello and happy Friday, everyone. We are the Million Mom Movement community here again for our Fierce Friday. And today we've got a very special edition in store. It is our health edition. So we at the Million Mom Movement are very passionate about the topic of toxicity in our environment, in our food, in our water, for our children. And I know as a mom of two, an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old, as the councilwoman of the Million Mom Movement, that all I prayed for was the health and safety of my family. And I know all of you do too. So we're here to always shine the light on the issues that are current, that are trending. And this is Women's History Month. This is National Nutrition Month. Next month is National Autism Month. We are really relevant in this community. What are we talking about here? We're talking about what we can do as solutions, what we can provide you, and we want to call to action, CTA, everybody in the community to bring on friends to learn more together. And I'm very passionate. My name is Carmela Velarde. I forgot to say that. I'm coming in from Pennsylvania, and I am irate at some of the things that are happening in our food system currently, and we do have solutions. So I would love to, as the Million Mom Movement, call to action 1,000 caregivers in 100 communities to really put into action your activism and what you believe in. And that means that you come together and share information that we have in our petitions. We have a petition on our millionmommovement.info page. We have our Instagram and Facebook active, and we would love to have you hashtag it and share what you're doing for your own family, for your own activism, and really understand that what we have here is an opportunity to be the voice for our generation. And we are the generation of sick. Guys, we are a sick generation, and the future of children lies in our hands. The caregivers of the world, that's what we represent in the Million Mom Movement, which is a movement of many. And I'd love to pass the mic over to Taz Ferreira, and she will share what we are about through our pledge. Go ahead, Taz.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Carm. I hear it all the time that people are asking me, well, how do we share it? How can we share this movement, right? We have the petition, we have so many ways, but one of my favorite ways is through the pledge. And we have it on our website, but we have it on our Purium app. And it's right in the palm of our hands, in our phones. So you can go to our Purium app, and we have a little copy button that you can use this to share with each and every person. Copy, do you resonate with this? Do you care about what your family are actually eating? Do you know about the toxicity in our environment? And it all begins what we put into our mouth, from breakfast to lunch to supper to snacks. Right? We are being subjected with all around us. So I will read the pledge. So the pledge. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels, educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement. And I love hearing from a lot of you. You tell me, I take the pledge and I printed it out and I put it in my fridge. And I even have teachers and healthcare workers who print it out, who put it in their office. So whenever their students come in, you know what they see? They see the pledge. And then it invokes them to ask questions. What is that about? What does that mean? What does that mean to you? So this is a great way that you could be sharing our movement forward. Back to you, Carm.
Awesome. Thanks, Taz. All right. And so we are creating a new segment in our production, which is in the news. And we love to highlight topics that are relevant to the topic that we're going to be talking about today. And so for me, when I was just peeking around at the news, really at the Children's Health Defense with Robert Kennedy, wow, you guys have to look at this and really join this 501c3 initiative that he has to defend our youth. It's really the same movement that we have in protecting our children, the future of our children. So I'm going to share screen. And something I wanted to highlight is that there are trends right now in developmental disabilities. And I'm highlighting this because, in the future, next month, April 1st, we're starting Autism Month, and developmental disabilities is something very dear to my heart. I'd worked with the adults in autism community for 4 years. And what I've seen is that the trends are growing fast. And why? What is happening? Yes, CDC is not always the most most sought after source for our community, but this was actually referenced from this Children's Health Defense page. And I wanted to highlight it because 1 in 6 children in the United States are going to be with a developmental disability. And the prevalence of this was highlighted also through another Fierce Friday that we had interviewed, a very wonderful man. His name is Toby Rogers, and he had created this dissertation that shared, and if you had not seen it, I wanted to bring it up again because to me it's very, very important, that 70% of autism is preventable. That means every day, whatever we are feeding our children, whatever we're sharing in their plates, on their bowls, in their mouths, that is it hurting them or is it healing them? We have choices, and the developmental disabilities can be prevented. Move this out of the way. A national state profile of leading health problems in healthcare. So I'm going to pull up that article. I cite this because the Health and Human Services Committee had shared that 54%, guys, this is a huge percentile, will have chronic conditions. Children, 32 million will have currently chronic conditions. That's 1 in 20 children born. Now, 54% is more than half, guys. Chronic conditions, that's rheumatoid arthritis, that's juvenile diabetes. This is something, again, that we can highlight and understand that our community is very dedicated to start to bring you to the information, but then it's up to you. We want to put it into your hands, what you can do. Now, the reason why I wanted to share this specifically today is because our councilwoman, Nayeva Florie, she's a wonderful mother of 6. Wow. She has a lot of information about prenatal and postpartum, how nutrition plays a role. Now, understanding the statistics of chronic conditions with children in the future, what can she do? What has she done? What do we do daily? In the Million Mom movement, in the company Purium, what can we provide our children with? We have a lot of things that we can share. So today I'd love to pass the mic to her. She is a Blue Diamond with our company. She is in Hawaii, and I just love working with her. She has incredible information that she provides her own family, and then she brings it to us. So it's really tried, tested, it's field tested. And Nayeva Florie, take the mic.
Thank you so much, Carmela. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing all that wisdom with us of what's going on in the news. Good morning, everyone. Happy Fierce Friday. So happy to be here with you all. So I want to start with, prior to getting pregnant or when you're planning to have a child, right? So we have all these things that are prevalent right now in our society, but it starts with us. It starts with our own health, right? Because we all know about genetics and how things get passed down. And if we're not healthy prior to conceiving, then some of those things can get passed on to our children. And that's the last thing that we all want, right? And so it is very important if you are somebody that's planning on having a child or maybe having a second child, start now, right? Start with detoxing your own gut and getting the heavy metals and the toxins out of your body. So that way you're reducing the signs or the effects that it will have on your child or children. So one of the things that I want to say is that the ultimate lifestyle transformation, of course, is where we start most people, right? It's a really great way to get started with a 30-day program. You have everything you need. And yet, if you're really wanting to do the deep detox with the parasites prior to having, getting pregnant, then you can actually get the ultimate lifestyle transformation and add a second super cleanser to the pack. Why? Because the first one, you're going to do the 10 days, you're going to do 20 days of superfoods, and then you're going to do a second round of the super cleanser. And that will eliminate the rest of the parasites because they are on a 1 month cycle. And so if you just do it once, after a month, some of the eggs will hatch. Nobody wants that, right? So it's really important that when you detox all of the parasites and their unborn little eggs, right? We don't want any of that in our body to recreate and reproduce. And then we start off where we started, right? So that's a really great way to just get started prior. I've also heard some really great testimonies of friends and family members that thought they couldn't conceive. They had tried so many different ways. They had tried treatments, in vitro, and had failed. And it was really hard for them to become pregnant. And after doing the ultimate lifestyle transformation, some of them did it more than once. It's a 60 to 90 days of really detoxing and using the superfoods can really help impact your body in a way that will make it possible for you to conceive possibly. A lot of times, things that are prohibiting us is a lot of the toxins in our body. Our body isn't able to hold that baby, right? So when we detox all the stuff out, sometimes our body is actually able to do what it was inherently has been doing for millions of years, right? As women. So that's where I would like to start you all off. Now, I will just go ahead and tell you a little bit of my story. I did not have superfoods in my life during any of my pregnancies. I found Purium postpartum with my youngest son, and I started using the products as a postpartum mom. So it all started, I was a super busy mom. I had 5 kids in 4 different schools, you guys, and I had just had a baby. So I'm sure any of you moms that have one or multiple children can imagine my morning life was stressful from the moment I woke up, right? I'd wake up, I'm waking up young children that don't want to get out of bed, getting them ready, making sure they have breakfast, tie their shoes, and getting them out to door. And even more stressful is they had 4 different campuses. And they're all about 10 to 15 minutes apart, and they all start at the same time. So how I did it, I still don't know to this day. Some of them would be early, one of them would usually be a few minutes late, but somehow I would juggle it all. And then after that, hour of morning stress was over, then I had a young baby and a household to take care of. So for me, I often lived off coffee until noon. That was my story. I did it. And it wasn't healthy, but it was where I was at because that's how I kept up with my life. That's how I kept up with the household chores. And then finally, I would eat something. And when I would, I'd be so hungry or probably hangry at that point that I would eat anything that I could get my hands on, right? A bagel and cream cheese. Sometimes it would be an apple, but a lot of times it would be the less healthy option, a peanut butter jelly that I still had on the counter from the kids, whatever it was, something quick and easy that I could grab and go. And then I was keeping up with my household chores. So fast forward a few months of using the products, I got introduced to the products, and right away I started to see results. I was having more stable energy. I was able to be more balanced in the morning with my children and not just be like totally stressed and like hyped on coffee, right? So I was able to have a more balanced mood and way of communication. And I was noticing that in the afternoon when the kids came home from school to do homework, I wasn't about to crash. I actually had a ton of energy to keep up with them, do after school activities, help them out. And then it went, and that really was great for me. And then I also was using the apothecary, which was helping me have deep sleep, but was also helping the baby have deep sleep, which was helpful for everyone, right? Because I was waking up more rested, and that is just a win for everybody. And so when I got started, I started on the core 4 because I was a breastfeeding mom and I wasn't ready to do the cleanse yet. And so I was just using the main 4 products, and that was a godsend. I'd take my aminos first thing in the morning before I even woke up the kids, would be aminos right away, taking care of myself first so that I could better take care of my family, right? So this is something that's really important. We sometimes forget, right, that we're doing so much for everybody else, making sure everybody has their needs met, but it's really important that you get your needs met as well. And so taking your aminos first thing in the morning, and then I would make myself a shake. At the time I had started with the Love Super Meal. And so I would make the Love Super Meal because it had more protein. So it was adding calories into my diet so that way I could keep up with the baby, right? And have that extra energy. And so I would make that. And honestly, I could drink half my shake and I'd be so full. And that would last me. And then I would, put it in the fridge and probably drink the other half around lunchtime, which was great for me because it was helping me to curb my cravings and my need to grab and go food that were available, in my pantry. And so it was really helping me to just have a more balanced energy, a better mood, better sleep at night, right? All those things are really prevalent as a new mom or a mom with several children. And so that's where I started. And the products were so helpful for me. So I'm going to, so core 4, once you have the baby, the core 4 is the best way to kind of help you maintain initially. But I'm just going to back up just a little bit to prior to pregnancy. Some of the ways that you can detox heavy metals from your body is the Craxel chlorella and the fulvic zeolite. These are really great because they'll help detox heavy metals and mercury and lead. And then the chlorella contains the chlorella growth factor, CGF. And that's really helpful for growing the baby as well as for your own skin, right? So getting ready to have a baby, those can be things that can really help to detox any heavy metals or toxins, and then also start to rebuild the healthy cells in your body. The other things that can help for men to increase fertility would be Super Life Formula. And for women is White American Ginseng. So those can be really helpful prior to getting pregnant as well. So going back to the first trimester. So when you're pregnant, the core 4 is a really great go-to because you're getting the biomedic, which will continue to help detox any toxins that were in your body or that you're currently consuming, right? Because if we're not eating 100% organic food, then there are chemicals in it. And even some organic food, believe it or not, has glyphosate and other chemicals in it. So it's really important that you read your labels, you know what's in your food, and get organic as often as possible. If you're able to do that, it's a really great switch and it will help you in the long run. I've talked to a lot of people that have made the switch over and they tell me that even their food tastes different, right? When you buy conventional vegetables over organic vegetables, the colors are brighter, the flavor is sweeter, right? It's so much better for you and your body, as well as for your unborn child, right? Because what you put into your body, you are what you eat, right? So what you put into your body becomes a part of you. So you also are getting your power shake, which is a ton of greens. You're getting a ton of great essential vitamins from that. And then the cherry will help you get the deeper sleep at night, right? And the aminos. The aminos are incredible for building your cells and helping you to get the proper amount of protein every day, because as busy moms, or maybe you're a busy entrepreneur that's going to be a mom, right? Sometimes we forget, right? We don't get all our protein, fruits, and vegetables every single day into our body. So it's important that we have this extra backup source through Purium to make sure that we're getting everything. Even if you're eating other sources of protein or eating a salad, Purium is your backup source, and you know that you're getting a certain amount of base level nutrition every single day. So some of the other ones that you can use is the first trimester, you can use the Love Super Meal. The first and second trimester, it's not suggested in the third trimester. So just know that. The reason why, it has flaxseed in it, and flaxseed is known to loosen the mucous membrane, right? So we don't want you to go into premature labor. So it's just a precaution. Use it at your own, at your own discretion. The other one that's really great can be Can't Beat This. Beets are really great for your cardiovascular and building new blood cells, but it does have a tiny bit of caffeine in it. So you decide if it's for you, if it's something that you need or want to consume. But the beets are great and everything else in there is really great. And the caffeine source is mild. It's coffee bean fruit and yerba mate, which I love the Can't Beat This. I didn't get to use it during pregnancy, but I love it all the time anyways. So one of the other things that can help with maybe some of the inflammation or insomnia or stress during pregnancy is our CBD Plus. If you're somebody that is super stressed, you're having a hard time sleeping, and you're not able, you just need that extra little bit to help you, that's a really great one. So going into the second trimester. So second trimester, you can continue using the core 4. Core 4 is amazing for everyone, right? But it's incredible during pregnancy as well. And I would add in the chlorella again, right? The chlorella is helping to build, it has that growth factor, chlorella growth factor, which helps to build your healthy cells. And that's really helpful in creating a baby. So to continue to use the daily core 4 as your nutritional baseline, and it will really help to regulate your digestion. And then the super aminos will help your body to continue to stretch during pregnancy. So it does help your skin elasticity, which is really exciting as well. One of the other ones is daily fiber blend. Daily fiber blend is great to add additional fiber into your diet, especially during the second trimester, third trimester, where sometimes there's some constipation happening, there's some hard time having bowel movements or moving things along. So it will really help to regulate you so that you can continue to go to the bathroom properly. You can also put it with our apothecary. I love mixing the caramel apple fiber blend with the apothecary, and it's like cherry apple pie. And that is the way that my kids love it. That's how we usually have it in the evening. It tastes really good, but you'll get all the benefits, right? You're getting your fiber in the evening before bed, and then you're also getting your cherry so you have that deep sleep. And it also helps with anti-inflammation, right? So it will help you with any kind of inflammation you have in your body, help reduce that, and it's really great for you. You can also choose to use the biofruit, which has the tart cherry in it. So that's another alternative. The biofruit, is full of antioxidants as well, and it has all the fruits that you need for a day, right? So you can add it into your smoothie or on top of your yogurt or whatever feels good to you, but that one's a really great one. And then we also have the tropic oil. Tropic oil is Purium's coconut oil. And this is a really great one. You can use it on your belly and on your breast to help reduce stretch marks, but you can also take it internally. I love to add it to my salad dressings. I'll add it onto my oatmeal. It has a really great flavor. And we have some really great treat recipes in our Million Mom Movement recipe page, where you could even make a lot of like treats, like raw treats that are really delicious, but also have all the benefits for you too, right? So these are all really great things that you can use during your second trimester. Now I'm going to go into the third trimester, and again, daily core 4 continue with this, right? And the biofruit and the chlorella, these are all really helpful. I would eliminate the super meal love if you're using that during your pregnancy. At the third trimester, I would start to eliminate that and go back to the power shake, right? On that core 4. The power shake is incredible with all the benefits that it has as well. And altogether, these products will help you to reduce your stretch marks, have more energy, sleep good, and also be getting a ton of the nutrients you need for your baby. Another thing you could add in the third trimester is spirulina. Spirulina, if you didn't know, is nature's multivitamin. This seaweed, sea algae, has a ton of vitamins in it that are really beneficial for your body and can really help to get you a lot of the minerals and nutrients that you need to help the baby's growth. But it's especially important for brain growth. Okay, it has a lot of those oils in it and essential nutrients that can really help the brain function or the brain development. So that one's a really great addition in the third trimester, as well as Sea from Nature. So Sea from Nature helps with your digestive tract and helps with issues separating proteins and fats and carbohydrates, and also contains it contains a lot of ingredients to just help boost your immune system and help you stay healthy throughout the rest of your pregnancy and beyond, right? So as you can see, there's a trend here with core 4, right? Even in the ultimate lifestyle transformation, it's the core 4 times 2. So the trend here is if you have a friend that's either wanting to conceive or in the pregnancy stage, core 4 is the best way to get them started. And then you can add in any of these things that make sense for yourself or for your client to help them throughout their pregnancy. And post-pregnancy, as you heard me share, I did the core 4. And I forgot to share that I did add the barley green juice and the tropic oil. So I added this in. I added in the barley green juice and the tropic oil when I was breastfeeding and wanted to do the cleanse. So when you do the cleanse as a breastfeeding mom, you don't want to do the super cleanser. So you omit the super cleanser. You don't do parasite herbs. That's way too strong for the baby. And so you don't want to do that. But what you can do is the core 4, and you can add in the barley green juice to make sure that you have a plentiful milk supply, right? Or if anybody that you know is having a hard time making milk for their baby, barley green juice is your go-to to help them to produce more milk. And then the other thing I add in was our tropic oil, which is our coconut oil. And this really helps to add in the fat that you need to keep your milk nice and creamy for the baby, and also to add healthy fats into your body. Because if you're cleansing while breastfeeding, you don't cut any calories out, ladies. So this is how I did it as a breastfeeding mom who wanted to cleanse, right? I was about 6 months postpartum when I finally decided to jump in and do the cleanse portion. And I wanted to lose a little bit of the baby weight. I know it's a little vain, but that's where I was at. And I'm somebody that has a really hard time losing weight. And so Purium really helped me with that. I was able to do the core 4. I was still eating 3 meals a day. I wasn't cutting any calories. What I did do was I was sticking a lot to the flex foods schedule, and I was adding in a little bit of protein. So I was adding in quinoa as a healthy protein. I occasionally have fish, and very seldomly I'll eat chicken. But those were some of my other protein sources that I would add in on top of my salad or my stir-fried veggies or whatever the other stuff I was having. I often added extra protein. So I was making sure that I was getting enough for myself and for the baby, and to stay really healthy during that time. And guess what? I still lost 8 pounds in a 10-day cleanse. That's incredible. I wasn't cutting any calories, right? I was still having, so the guide is to still have 2,100 calories per day and your core 4, and then to add in the barley greens juice to help fortify your milk, that you're making enough milk, and the tropic oil to add in healthy fats. That's what I did. And it worked great for me. I had amazing results. I felt great during the whole process. I didn't feel hungry throughout. Of course, I had, watermelon and cucumbers and celery and things that I could eat unlimited amounts of if I felt hungry, right? So make sure when you're cleansing, especially if you're wanting to do it as a postpartum mom and you're still breastfeeding, make sure you have all your flex foods on hand and that you have plentiful of the ones that you can eat unlimited of, so that you don't ever feel like you're getting hangry or hungry during that time, because you want to still be present with your baby and your children and be able to still do the program, right? So I'm getting all of this. Just if you're wondering, I did post the link to the Purium blog about nutrition for new mothers, got posted into our Million Mom official group on Facebook. So if you're not already in there, I want to invite you to go join our Million Mom official Facebook group. And I went ahead and posted this article in there so you can all just read it for yourself, send it to the moms that might be interested in learning more, or go over it so you can, if you didn't get to take notes or you missed part of it, you can go over it there. So I want to just go ahead and see, I have a guest that's going to share her story. Let's see if she's on yet. Haley, are you here? Let me just double check. So some of the tips, I'll share some extra tips with you while we're waiting. And so here's some extra tips: is stay away from electromagnetic frequencies as much as possible during pregnancy. Take time in nature for your mental health, for both your sake and the health of your future baby. And oh, and Haley's not going to be able to join us today. And so just a second, I have another guest coming on. She'll be here in just a minute. So take time for yourself, go do things that bring you joy, because these moments of pregnancy are so sacred for yourself and, for your unborn baby, is just to really take care of yourself, to do the things that bring you joy and to relax, conserve your energy, right? For when you're going to have this new baby, get all those long hours of sleep in while you can. And then also, obviously, if you're wanting to conceive, discontinuing alcohol and sugary foods can really help in that program. And that's why we suggest like 60 to 90 days of the ultimate lifestyle transformation prior to conceiving if you want to fully detox your body. And of course, that goes hand in hand with reducing the sugary foods, the carbs, the alcohol, all those things that don't serve us, right? They don't really serve us in the long term. And then monitor your use of herbs, right? Make sure that the herbs that you're using are going to help you in the progress that you're wanting to do. There are a few things that I know can like dry up breast milk if you drink peppermint tea or use peppermint essential oils. Those actually can reduce your breast milk. So it is really important that as we're using herbal teas and remedies or essential oils, that we just go and look them up really quick. It's not too hard to do, and there's a ton of information, and just see if it's okay for you. Eucalyptus is another one. If you're an essential oil user or you like to diffuse them, it's not so good for you, especially towards the end of your pregnancy. So just be aware of some of the other teas and herbs out there that may move you in the wrong direction. If you're somebody that's needing more milk and you're drinking peppermint tea, that's not going to help you, right? So let's focus on the solutions and the things that will help you. Let's add in that barley green juice and that coconut oil and have that be your support. So let me see if my second guest is on. She was having a hard time hopping on. Oh, yay, I see you. Awesome. So this protocol actually was brought to you by Dave Sandoval and his lovely wife, Anna Marie. And she's actually here today to share her story about how what she did prior to conceiving little Cornelia, and then throughout her pregnancy, and a little bit of her postpartum journey. So thank you so much, Anna Marie, for joining us. If we can go ahead and unmute her. And I'm so excited to hear your story about Cornelia and how she came to be. And I know while we're waiting for her to get unmuted, I know that, she's also going to be sharing about, okay, Anna, you can unmute now, Anna Marie. So she was also sharing how Cornelia, this really supported her on her journey with Cornelia coming a month early, and how these superfoods really helped empower her during that time as well. So go ahead, Anna Marie, take it away.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so grateful and really honored to share a little bit about my story being pregnant with Neela and using Purium products throughout her entire, pregnancy and even before conceiving. So yeah, I was using the Core 4 on a regular basis, and I think that just really naturally always helped my body to stay pretty detoxed and fertile too. About a month early, and we were in a lot of gratitude because during her pregnancy, I was using the Core 4 really religiously. And once we found out that we were pregnant, I really upped my intake of chlorella because it really helps to And it also really helps to keep your body very well cleansed out. I know that some moms, if your system is brand new to having clean nutrition inside of you, that sometimes there can be a little bit of a like too much detox for some moms. So you don't want to take maybe as much as I was taking. My body was really used to brand new to cleaner and healthier eating. Then you would want to kind of increase those a little bit slower. But I think that the chlorella really, really helped us, as well as during my pregnancy, I did have a lot of morning sickness, and as a lot of moms can say, all day sickness. It doesn't really just come in the morning. And what really supported me during that time was green shake was the only thing I could keep down. I wasn't able to be eating a bunch of food, and especially as a first-time mom, that's really scary. Like, oh my gosh, if I'm not eating, how am I going to be putting in good nutrition to be growing a baby? And how am I going to be making sure everything's taken care of? And there's, as if you're a mom hearing this, as you all know, there's enough of your pregnancies that everything is okay. And whatever element that you can take off that stress is really, I would say, like worlds of help, because our mental health during those times is just as important as our physical health. And so being able to, even though I was having a lot of morning sickness, be able to keep that in my body and know that we were covered, it was so good for me. And also I was taking the aminos. That wasn't something I had, that wasn't like food, but that was protein that my body was getting to really be staying strong and have energy and be able to, you know, just be feeling good as possible. And I think that those also really helped Cornelia's body to be building inside of me. And of course, we definitely can't forget how much like the apothecary was life-saving for me, because of not being able to sleep at night when your belly's growing and just uncomfortable positions. And for me, a lot of it was my thoughts were keeping me up at night, just like there's so much to think about. And having the apothecary at night really, really helped me to be able to sleep well and soundly at night. And if I was getting up a million times to pee, when I went back to sleep, it wasn't like a tough fall back asleep. It was just, bam, I'm back into that deep sleep mode. And so that was really extremely helpful. And I also did do some of the barley greens while I was pregnant too, to help with some of my nausea. And I think that was pretty pitiful. I would like just add a little bit of that into my and rice bran solubles, some extra rice bran solubles would also really help with the nausea. So that would like help keep things down, as well as really support my body while I was growing Mila. And so like I said, Mila came 4 weeks early, and that was scary, but we were really, really blessed in the way that although she was 4 weeks early, she ended up not needing any NICU time. All of her like blood pressures and breathing and all of the different elements of when you have a baby first out of the belly just coming out, that they check to, you know, kind of set every area perfectly set. They're like, okay, well, she just came a little early, but everything is fine. And I really think that the amount of Purium products that I had in my body while I was growing her really helped her to be growing at such a quality rate, right? Like obviously like all babies grow, but I think her growing was at like a really rich level, so that even though it was shortened, like everything was still ready to go. Yeah, I think that the products really helped her to be really strong when she came out. And then obviously postpartum right away, that was what I was taking, was in the hospital, we did have to stay for 48 hours where they just need to monitor you to be sure that everything is okay. And, you know, we stayed on a really, really strict organic diet while I was pregnant with Nayeva, and we still do now. But we weren't about to, like, as soon as we have her out of me, right away. Also had no problem latching, latched right away, was taking mama's milk from like first minute we met. And I didn't want to be putting non-organic or toxic crap from the hospital into my body right away, or into my milk that was going into her right away. And obviously we were all exhausted, and we had my mom there with us, but like, because we live away from my family, not like a bunch of family or friends or anything. And so not a lot of food options coming right out. And we leaned on our Purium, like, just get all the goods in you right away. And that really supported me when I had first given birth. And then even into those first few months, it's a lot to be breastfeeding. And because Nayeva was early, we had to be breastfeeding, in shorter increments. And so I wasn't sleeping pretty much. And I didn't have energy to be, making big meals or doing anything drastic. And Dave, bless his heart, was still working like full capacity and taking care of me and Mila at the same time. So both of us having the green shakes to be able to lean on and just pour good, pure nutrition into us instead of lean on anything else kept our brain mental health as new parents, like as heightened as it could be, and really kept our bodies strong and clean and clear during such like the most precious and sacred of times of new life. And I shout out to our angel Kimberly Sanders, who she came for 10 days to come help me and the baby for a little bit. And literally Goddess would just wake me up, which would take baby after she was done nursing and hold her and put her to sleep for me, and just come in and bring me all my supplements and my green shake. And she'd like watch me drink my shake to make sure I got it in me. And I was like, okay, now take your aminos, take all your stuff. Okay, and now you go to sleep. And take the baby and let me go to sleep. But I wouldn't have been able to receive if she brought in a whole bunch of food to me and things like that. I was so exhausted. I would just be like, oh, like, okay, put it down. I'll take it later. But being able to get that nourishment in me right away, I really feel like has helped me as a mama.
I love that, Anna Marie. Thank you so much for sharing with us your journey. And I always love hearing about it and hearing your story. And so thank you so much for everything you've shared with us today. And Neela is healthy now. I get to see her drink her green drinks. I see you post about Neela drinking her green drinks all the time. And even when we were visiting, she's like, Auntie, make me a green drink. So it just makes me so happy. Our kids do what we do, right? They do it in excess. So make healthy choices. Show your kids when you're reading labels, right? Show them, because they're going to do what you do. And Kainoa, who I started with when I was, first started Purium, he's 7 now. And he comes home from school and he's like, Mom, make me a power shake. Mom, can I have some of those aminos? He'll like take 1 or 2 aminos and break them in half and eat them. And I have all the superfoods on my counter on a little lazy Susan. So I spin my wheel with all the fun stuff on there. And he loves to just go over there and spin it. And he loves the cracked cell chlorella. And this is really great because it has that healthy growth factor, right? It's great for kids. It's good for their brains. And so I love that he reaches for that almost on a daily basis. And I think he actually reaches for it as needed because he knows when his body actually needs that. So I love that. Thank you so much, Anna Marie. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add? Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, yeah, I realized a huge factor, something that I didn't talk about that I wanted to speak on, was my regular use of Biomedic, which is huge. That I was taking Biomedic before pregnancy and all throughout pregnancy. I literally would never, ever skip a day of Biomedic when I was pregnant with Nayeva, and that was with eating organic foods as well. But through a lot of work, especially with our nonprofit with autism, we have learned so much about gut health and how our baby's gut health is developed from mama's gut as it's being built. And if you guys, being a part of this group, know so much about glyphosate and the gut lining, I really think that so much of Neela's health was because her gut and brain is formed first, and it was formed with no glyphosate at all, like no way. And I think that was a huge attribution to her health now, which is she's 3 years old and has never needed to see a doctor. And I think it was a really, really huge factor as well.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I had one other guest that was scheduled to come on. And of course, we are the Million Mom Movement, Mom Life. Her child is not going to let her come share with us today. So I just want to call out to the field. I know we have a lot of moms on here. I want to see if one of you would like to come on and share your story of using Purium either before, during, or after pregnancy. Anyone?
Go ahead, Rakira. You're the first to raise.
Oh, there's Rakira's hand. All right, Rakira, can we unmute her?
Hi there. I have a toddler who's very active right now, so I will do my best. So quick story. Yes, I was dealing with postpartum depletion up to my daughter was about 18 months old. I ended up collaborating with Purium actually through the Million Mom Movement. And when she was 18 months old, I went on a road trip, 3 weeks, a road trip. I was dealing with insomnia, depression, anxiety, wasn't able to sleep because I was breastfeeding. And within 3 days of having the power shake and the super aminos and the apothecary, I was able to sleep on the road. My energy was completely transformed. My partner at the time was all about processed foods on the road. And I was like, nope, that doesn't work for me. So I brought my power shake, which actually saved my life. And my daughter was drinking it as well. And now my daughter is 3 years old and she is a superfood child. She mainly eats 95% fruits, veggies, superfoods. You can see she's very active. She eats her super aminos daily. She literally asks me twice a day for her super aminos. I have the Genius Kids, but for me, my postpartum is gone. I have a 6-pack at 35 years old. I do my daily core 4 constantly. I have to keep up with this one right here. And that is my story. I love Purium and it's our groceries and it's something that I would not live without. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Can we please unmute Camille Ferguson?
Hi, I'm actually going to stay off camera because I'm driving, but yeah, I love this call. This is such a huge passion of mine is mom's nutrition. And I'm an older mom. I've been pregnant 4 times and I had a really different experience with my last baby. I had 2 pregnancies back to back and I was extremely depleted. I was also in severe chronic pain from a condition in my spine that surfaced during my 3rd pregnancy. And I was, after my 4th was born, I was really dependent on ibuprofen, taking about 2,000 milligrams of ibuprofen every day, just to get through the day, just to take the edge off. And within just a couple of days of starting the Core 4 nutrition, I was breastfeeding, and my son at that time was, he was almost 2, and I noticed right away that my chronic pain was immediately down. I didn't have to take ibuprofen like that 2nd day. And of course, sleeping so much better. I just felt like my breast milk was so much better. And my energy levels really started to balance out. I was chasing coffee and black tea every day just to get through the day. And within about a week, my energy just came back to life. So yeah, I don't go a day without these products either. I'm closing in on my 40s, and I have just a ton of energy to and vitality to give my little boy. And he's also a superfood baby too. We have experimented with a lot of the different products to find the right one for him, and I'm just so thankful for it because he's kind of picky too. So I'm gonna hop off because he's paging me. But thanks everyone. Love you guys.
Thank you so much, Camille, for sharing your story. It's so important for us to know what to use, right? And to know what other moms are using, what's working for them, so that way we can have an idea of what will work for us as well. Awesome. I'd love to invite Mary Beth Fleming to come on and share.
Yeah, hi everyone. This has been such a great call. And like the other mamas, it's such a passion of mine to share this nutrition because I had the experience of my first son not having Purium in my life. And then now the second son, who's 2 years old, having Purium. And my first son, I ate all organic. I started cleansing like 7 years prior to pregnancy and doing all this stuff to really clean my body out and be prepared. And I had amazing birth and amazing pregnancy, but I also found myself in postpartum depletion about 13 months postpartum. And that's when Purium came into my life because I was looking for that solution of deep mineralization and what's missing kind of thing, So then I had the delight of being on Purium, but before getting pregnant with Forrest, during my pregnancy and after, and I haven't had an ounce of postpartum depletion with my second. And, that says a lot because your second baby, you're running around taking care of another one. And so the energy output is even greater. The sleep is less. And I've had more energy and better postpartum experience. And both my kids, my 4.5-year-old, he's never seen a doctor. My 2-year-old's never seen a doctor for any kind of sickness or illness. And we just live the Purium lifestyle. They love the shakes. I would say as a mom, the two products that we have that really stand out to me the most are the Aminos and the Power Shake are two things that I just cannot go a day without. And I drastically feel the difference when I don't have them in my life. And they've also really helped me in, I've started personal training and trying to get back into my strength after having 2 babies and in still nursing. And I'm building muscle and feeling so good in my body. And I just feel that vitality coming back as a mother the more and more I take these superfoods. So totally amazing. And I love that you guys are sharing this education for other mamas because everybody deserves to have this in their lives. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Really appreciate you and getting to hear about the difference between the first pregnancy and the second pregnancy. Even though you're already super healthy, being able to have this extra nutrition and then not having that postpartum depression or any kind of, lag time there after having the second baby is just incredible to just jump back on your feet and, chase the first one and have the second one on your hip. I love that. Beautiful story. So we still have a few more minutes. We could have one more share if there's another mama that would like to share.
I can jump on, Nayeva.
Yeah, so I'll pass it back to you, Camilla.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to give perspective of being an older mom. My kids are 8 and 11, but as I had been using superfoods since my son was 8, I've been 8 years now with the superfoods. Every time my family does, my husband and I, we do the ULT together. My kids just know that this is just the way to live and that they do the core for themselves all the time. And this is just a maintenance that we all know. And this is the maintenance that we all want to really encourage everybody to be consistent with is when they see you doing it all the time, not just in, sporadically doing cleanses, but you're just living it like on a schedule. And they see that it improves our ability to be present for them, then this is just how they are. And they're able to educate their friends when they come over that this is what they have as a dinner, even that they sit down, they say, this is what I ask for a Power Shake and the aminos and a flex food for dinner because it's easy. It's quick. And sometimes they have to rush off to do their projects and then they have to take a shower and then get ready for bed. And so I just wanted to share that, the older children, as you're on this lifestyle, they're following everything you're doing and what you're incorporating it and you're taking it and teaching it at the same time.
Yeah, that's so true. And like I was saying, Kainoa is a testament to that, right? Because I've been doing this since he was 4 months old. And so I actually used to, make my power shake right before I had to sit down and breastfeed. So that way I could fuel myself while I was sitting for my 5 minutes, right? And feeding my baby. And he would reach for it, right? Baby's on your breast. They're like, what's mama eating, right? Even when you're eating food, they're reaching for it. And so the beautiful thing is when he was about 8 months old, I decided to give him a sip. I was like, okay, he was really like reaching for it and wanting it. And I was like, you know what? Everything that's in here is incredible ingredients. Like, why not? I see moms feed their children like French fries and Coca-Cola and like all kinds of crazy stuff, right? They don't know better, right? No judgment. But I figured if kids could handle that, then they could definitely handle liquid salad, right? So I gave him a sip of my power shake. And guess what, ladies? I could never drink a power shake in front of him again without him throwing a fit. He wanted my power shake. So I'd either have to make a power shake and hide in the kitchen and chug it down, or I'd have to make a power shake, put a little bit in a sippy cup and water it down for him and give him his own so that I could actually enjoy my whole power shake. So that's just a testament to how they do what we do, right? He was watching me drink a power shake every day. Then he wanted that power shake. And the moment he tasted it, he never went back. He's always loved the appleberry power shake. It tastes delicious. And to him, it's like a treat after school. He'll come back from school and say, hey, can I make a power shake? He's now actually making power shake popsicles because he loves it so much. And so that's his new treat after school. And so, yeah, that's just a little testament to how they do what we do, right? It's so true. So that's all I have for today. I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to you, Carmela. And thank you all so much for joining us today. If you want to go look at that blog, it's in Purium's blog, and I also posted it in our Million Mom official group on Facebook.
Wow, what incredible information, Nayeva. Thank you so much for sharing all these tips and tools that are in our catalog. And in the chat, I just shared something, but coming up on Fierce Friday, we have a special edition that will be for picky eaters, how to integrate these superfoods for those who are not necessarily organic to start with, but just know that we hear you and we're listening to the field what you need. So we're going to pivot next week to business. And actually, we're going to have to keep you posted because we just recently had a schedule change from our interviewee. But we were going to have Michelle Boersma, but she has a family emergency. So we wish her well, and everyone please send a prayer to her family. And we will definitely have her back on. She's a new crown with our company. But just stay tuned onto our pages for who we will have on next week. Thanks all so much. See you next Fierce Friday. Bye-bye.